Seattle.
Yeah.
What's that going to be like for you, do you think, tomorrow?
Yeah, interesting. I think obviously Seattle's always going to have a special place in my heart, really. I think when you build something from nothing, it tends to have that effect on you. And but obviously once you get into the game, it's a game. I'm sure they want to win as badly as I do, so that's what makes us who we are. So yeah, obviously it'd be good to see them, good to see people come into town. But once it turns to game time, it's game time.
With a busy week, how are you managing rotation?
Yeah, I think that obviously we've got a strong squad. I think that although the Chicago game was a tough one from a loading perspective, it actually wasn't as high as some of our other games, so which was nice. So we're feeling good spirits going into the Seattle game, but I know that the squad's going to be vital.
Laura, how much does your familiarity with the Seattle side, more than most, assist in preparation for you personally with your side?
Yeah, I think they're different. Vlatko is different to me, and the team's different from what I had last year. There's a core group that's still there, so from an individual player perspective, you know what they're going to do, but I think from a team, as they play as a team, it's different from how they played when I was there. But yeah, I mean, it's helped with knowing some of them and knowing their traits and how their strengths are more than their weaknesses, and how we have to stop that and then play to our strengths a little bit.
Stylistically, how have they changed most from you to Vlatko?
I think that mainly their defending's different. The way they defend is different. I think they try and play the same way. I think me and Vlatko have always tried to play the same way, honestly. But I think defensively they're a little bit different. So yeah, I think that's the biggest difference, honestly.
Do they look a little bit more like when you used to scout the old Kansas City?
Yeah, a little bit, yeah. Yeah. So, going to be interesting.
Have you kept in touch with Vlatko throughout? I know that you guys had what?
Yeah, keep in touch with everybody, really. I had a really good relationship with the owners there. They treated me like family. Vlatko, obviously, I've known since I've been in the league, and some of the players I've known for a long, long time. So, yeah, we've sort of had limited conversations so far this week. Apart from Pino, I had to give her some stick about that body issue. But, yeah, apart from that, I think that, yeah, obviously when they get into town, it'd be nice to see them. But game time's game time.
So Preston Johnson have 2 days of practice under their belt. How are they integrating?
Yeah, they're good. Obviously, we kept them here before Chicago so that they could get acclimatised, and then they've had 2 sessions with the team and fit in seamlessly, honestly.
So a quarter of your games remaining are against Seattle. If this is going to become a little rivalry, it's going to ramp up in a hurry, isn't it, I guess?
Yeah, I think that, you always know that games against teams that are around you are going to be important, but I think the way that the league sort of balances itself out, I feel like those 3 games are going to be so vital to both teams. So yeah, it's going to be interesting how we both approach it tomorrow.
Kind of a 6-point swing every time you guys meet up, I think they call them.
Yeah, pretty much. I think, you have to take care of business away, and for us, we've obviously taken 4 points off a team that a lot of teams can't get 1 point against. So that gives us a little bit of an advantage, but then we've got to make sure that we do that against everyone around us, and Seattle's one of those teams.
I feel like we've maybe beaten the horse a little bit with the trade, but was it ownership motive? I mean, what was their kind of role, or was it what was that kind of dynamic in terms from here?
Definitely, I drove it.
Okay.
I think when me and Deloy speak, he asked me what players I am interested in bringing in, and Christen's one name that I've been saying to him for a long time. So, he did his work at the national team game.
That's...
but no, I think obviously he watched her play here and then saw her play in Cleveland, and she showed what she can do on the field, and I think that just solidified what I'd been telling him. Honestly, I think he'd go and get Megan Rapinoe if he could, so it doesn't always work out that way. But yeah, I know, we're just really glad that we were able to make it happen, and I think both Christen and Sam are going to be a huge asset to our club.
The proposal photo was why I asked the question.
Yeah, you need to ask Kara about that, don't we?
From what you've seen of her in training, has she changed much as a player with her time in Sweden?
Yeah, I think when I said this before, I think when I was at Arsenal, she played in Sweden for Gothenburg and played against me. It was the first time I watched her play. And she was exceptional. I didn't actually know that she was American at the time. I knew of her name, but she'd been in Sweden for a while at that point. So she'd just come out of college, and outside of the US, you don't really know too much about the college system. So I watched her play for Gothenburg. She played against me in the Champions League. Thankfully, we beat them. But I think she scored some goals in those 2 games. And I was like, who's this? And then I left Arsenal not long after that, and was always interested to try and get her back, and desperately tried to get her to my team in the allocation, but unfortunately Chicago won on that. And ever since then, I've probably spoken to Rory, the coach of Chicago, twice a season, and he's told me no. And finally at the end of last season he said there was a chance, and I tried and I couldn't make it happen, and honestly was devastated when she went to Houston. But then just thankful that we finally were able to make it happen.
Thoughts on the 3 Lions so far?
I'm just trying not to get too excited about it, because I believe Tunisia and Panama were not favourites. So Belgium's going to be a big test, but once we see how the groups pan themselves out, I don't think I'll mind a loss in that game. We're doing right.
As a former Arsenal coach, how do you feel about Harry Kane?
Whatever. I mean, he wears England, so at the minute, it doesn't matter who they play for, they're England. They're all England. I'd rest him against Belgium, let Jamie Vardy run riot, and then bring him back out for the next game. Come on, England. Like, this is our chance, I believe that.
Have you called Pochettino to try to make a trade to bring Harry Kane to the Royals?
Nah, he couldn't play in this league. It's too transitional for him. He don't run about enough. He's not good enough at pressing.
Well, I didn't make it to some video.
Last thing about your table, Laura, games in hand.
Yeah.
You've still got some over most of the teams in front of you. You still look at that as an important deal, don't you?
Yeah, definitely. I think the only team that isn't is Seattle.
Yeah,
so
right.
again, that's why the 3 games are so vital. But obviously we play Portland and Orlando one more time each. 1 home, 1 away. Huge opportunities for us. Then there's Seattle, 9 points. And then, you've got to take care of business around everyone else. I think this league is what it is for a reason. People will write off Sky Blue. I don't think you can. It wouldn't shock me if they get their first win in the next couple of weeks, and I just hope that's not against us.